Tonight, Whyalla Council decides on the jetty's future, a new one set to be built. And National Party faithful converge on Broken Hill for the party state conference.
This is Southern Cross News with Tim Hatfield.
Good evening, but first tonight there's been a staggering number of whooping cough cases reported on the Eyre Peninsula, with figures suggesting South Australia is heading for an epidemic. The highly contagious illness is deadly for newborns, doctors warning pregnant women to get vaccinated now.
It's a sound that will break any parent's heart. Latest figures indicating South Australia is on the verge of a deadly whooping cough epidemic, and newborn babies are at risk.
It's really serious in babies under 12 months. In the little babies, it can even kill them before they've had their immunisations. It can be a deadly disease.
The latest data indicates the worst whooping cough outbreak in 5 years. Recorded cases up nearly 40% on the same time last year. To prevent the spread of whooping cough, a free vaccine is delivered to expecting mums during the final stages of pregnancy. But many pregnant women remain unaware of the free immunisation.
It's very important every pregnant woman has her pertussis vaccine, and if she hasn't, she should do that as soon as she can.
Doctors in Port Lincoln are reporting a dramatic spike of children with the infection, warning parents to recognise the symptoms early.
It's very contagious, and we're not sure why the outbreak is happening recently, but certainly even children who've been vaccinated can pick it up again if they're in close contact with an active pertussis or whooping cough case.
The outbreak has prompted multiple schools here on the Eyre Peninsula to quarantine students in hopes of preventing the deadly illness from spreading.
Previously in Adelaide there was a major spike in 2010, and this would certainly be like that, very similar to that now.
It's also recommended that adults who come into contact with young children be vaccinated. Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
Whyalla looks set to get a new jetty after council decided on the option at Monday's meeting. The CEO says building the new structure is a better long-term option than trying to repair the current jetty.
What lies beneath the Whyalla jetty is not good, with this footage showing the damage done to the pylons. After much deliberation, it's going to be demolished, with council to spend over $2 million replacing the 40-year-old structure.
This jetty is a key feature of the Whyalla coastline and a unique asset for the community, locals and tourists alike, and they've agreed to construct a brand new jetty.
Councillors were presented with a number of options at Monday's meeting, which ranged from doing very little to a full replacement. Mr Cowley says the figures showed a full replacement was a better investment.
To refurbish the old jetty was $2 million. To build a completely new enhanced jetty was 2.4, and if you look at the whole of life, it's so much cheaper.
Construction costs have been budgeted across several years, but Mr Cowley says they'll approach the state government for assistance.
We are really seeking state government assistance to co-fund or fully fund if they wish.
The result means that Whyalla will be without a jetty for up to a year. But Mr Cowley says the new structure will be more than a place to fish.
We believe if we enhance it, we can ensure that the community can use the jetty as a tourist feature, as a place of relaxation and enjoyment.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
The New South Wales Nationals Party conference got underway in Broken Hill this morning, with state and federal members converging on the city's new civic centre. They came bearing gifts, one of which enabling Broken Hill's future students to study at home.
It was smiles all around as the Nats conference got underway.
It's important we continue to invest in regional communities, and today's conference brought to Broken Hill why we want to clearly demonstrate that we are a government focused on the region. It's not always about the city, and where can we do that better than a place as far west as Broken Hill.
And the Deputy Premier came with a big announcement for the region's future uni students. After a successful pilot program in his own electorate, $8 million has been fronted for 6 country university centres to be built in regional New South Wales. One of the first 2 locations is the Silver City.
This is about making sure regional towns continue to grow, and to do that we need to keep our kids at home.
The centre will allow local students who may shy away from uni because of accommodation costs and homesickness to study in their hometown. The Premier, a Liberal, also in town with her national colleagues.
The jobs we're creating through the infrastructure investments we're making will also make sure that once they finish their degrees after studying locally, they'll be able to get a great job locally, and that's what it's all about.
A local steering committee will partner with the University Centre's board to select a location.
I would hope in the next few months we'll see a clearer picture of that timeline, but this is about delivering as soon as we can for regional kids.
The centre would house high internet speed, video conferencing, computer facilities as well as workshops with qualified local instructors. The Nationals Conference continues over the weekend. Patrick Roinke, Southern Cross News.
A Whyalla football player has been handed a life ban after being found guilty of behind-the-play incident that left a 22-year-old man concussed. The family of the victim has welcomed the decision, but has questioned some of the Footy League's tribunal practices, which saw the player originally acquitted. John Hunt has the details.
For many years, there's been a campaign to eliminate off-the-ball thuggery in Aussie rules, at both a professional and grassroots level. The issue reared its ugly head in Whyalla earlier this year, leaving a football player concussed and injured. 22-year-old Ben Old from Rapina was allegedly punched 60 metres off the ball in the Roos Round 1 match against Waruna Bay. He was unconscious for about a minute and was taken to Whyalla Hospital where he was treated for facial injuries. The Waruna Bay player who committed the act was reported for the incident, but much to the Old family's anger, he was found not guilty, despite the umpire's statement confirming the assault. In a stunning twist, the Whyalla Football League reconvened the case, declaring the original tribunal unconstitutional.
The Constitution states that of the 6 members, 3 must be present, and on that particular occasion the tribunal meeting was held with only 2.
A new hearing last week found the Tigers player guilty and suspended him for 6 weeks. The ban took him over the maximum 16-game threshold, which means he is now banned for life. The Old family did not want to speak on camera, but in a statement told Southern Cross News, this was now a line in the sand moment. They say the community must work together to eliminate violent acts and make the game safe. Mr. Sitchler says the league agrees.
That sort of incident is not part of our game.
The Old family have also told Southern Cross News they've reported the matter to police, who are currently investigating. They've said they want to go back to enjoying the game, without the old school sniping and violence.
John Hunt reporting there. Well, stay with us. Still to come in tonight's local news, a treat for the taste buds. We'll head along to the Clare Gourmet Festival. That's next. Welcome back. Broken Hills Civic Centre has officially reopened this morning with a special ceremony in the building's foyer. The New South Wales Deputy Premier John Barilaro and the Mayor Daria Turley held a ribbon cutting at the bottom of the centre staircase. The centre has undergone a $5.1 million refurbishment and is currently hosting the National Party Conference. Well, thousands of wine lovers will arrive in the Clare Valley over the next couple of days to taste some of Australia's best drops. It's all part of the Clare Valley's Gourmet Festival, which will run all weekend.
It's the biggest event on Clare's calendar, and wineries have been busy preparing for a big weekend.
We use it to attract people to the region and hope for the visitation, repeat visitation.
If you're looking for a relaxed venue with tapas-style food, maybe even some craft beer, John Array Wines should be on your map.
So having the brewery right there is a massive advantage, so you can't get beer any fresher than that, so it's going to be the freshest tasting beer people will ever tasted when they come up for this event.
Paulette Wines is also preparing for a number of events where you can see local produce shining through.
Crew in the kitchen are cooking beautiful big duck spring rolls. We've got ribs. We've got 3 different curries, which our Chef Roger's well known for.
Head down the road and you'll come across Killer Canoe Wines, who have the perfect wine tasting set up.
What we will look at here is some asset collection wines and also some back vintage wines as well. So great opportunity to be able to see current releases and also, how they are going to cellar and age.
It's a fine art to creating the perfect wine, and it's equally important to know how to taste test. As the winemakers tell me, you give it a little swish, then a sniff, and taste away.
What we can say is enjoy the wines, drink slowly, don't forget to drink water in between, and just enjoy the wines and really enjoy the variants that Clare Valley has to offer. We've got such beautiful wines around this area.
The festival will run over the whole weekend. Keziah Sullivan, Southern Cross News.
Port Piries Festival Arts Centre has received a $1.2 million upgrade. The upgrade saw a new modern energy-efficient heating and cooling system installed. Underneath the works, Aboriginal artists were invited to help brighten the entrance of the centre. Local stories and the history of the land are told through paintings. 3 poles were painted, each representing the land, water and the Flinders Ranges. The NAIDOC Week Awards have opened for nominations. Those awarded in previous years say it's a great way to celebrate Port Augusta's Indigenous community.
NAIDOC Week kicks off in just over a month, celebrating the history, culture and achievements of Indigenous Australians. And here in Port Augusta, nominations are open for the local NAIDOC Awards.
Sometimes just the recognition that you get empowers you to keep going in what you do and what you believe in.
As a winner of the 2015 NAIDOC Premiers Award, Levine says the awards were encouraging for herself and the community.
It was a highlight because it's been recognised by your own people for what you do in the community.
The NAIDOC Awards in Port Augusta have 10 categories, which includes Business of the Year, Community Person of the Year and even Sportsperson of the Year.
If there's someone out there that you really think deserves nominating, then nominate them.
This year's national NAIDOC theme is Our Language Matters, and everyone in Port Augusta is encouraged to celebrate in the first week of July on Culture Day, which will feature marches and dance. Community members say that surrounding towns look to Port Augusta for its NAIDOC celebrations.
Because it's something that Port Augusta does well, and we encourage non-Aboriginal people also to be part of that special week that we celebrate.
Nominations close on June 9th. Amelia Simpson, Southern Cross News.
It's expected thousands of people will flock to the Yorke Peninsula this weekend to be part of the annual Kernwook Lowender Cornish Festival. I hope I said that right. The unique festival kicked off today and will celebrate the region's significant Cornish heritage over the weekend. Kadina, Wallaroo and the Moonta region will all take part with traditional maypole and fairy dancing, as well as plenty of Cornish pasties. The festival is well renowned and was recently named the 2016 Yorke Peninsula Tourism Award winner. Those pasties have my mouth watering. We'll stay with us after the break. The Port Lincoln gymnast heading off to show some moves on the national stage. But that's next. Welcome back. The Royal Flying Doctor Service will celebrate its 89th birthday in Port Augusta tomorrow by having a day at the races. The RDFS hopes the race day will raise awareness of the service, and the Port Augusta Race Club is racing to get the track ready.
There'll be nothing like a birthday at the races. The Port Augusta Race Club will be on track tomorrow to celebrate the RFDS's 89th birthday.
We'd love to have around about 800 people turn out. That would be really good. Understand that this is probably a bit unusual for us to have a Saturday race meeting.
And the weather conditions and the track are looking good.
I have a great committee who work very, very hard to make the grounds look as good as what it does. But the track itself being a sand track, usually takes approximately a full day to prepare for racing conditions.
The Royal Flying Doctor Service will bring a flight simulator to the event, as well as a full-scale replica of one of their Pilatus PC-12 aircraft. The CEO says Port Augusta's fleet is vital to the region.
But Port Augusta is our heartland of our South Australian operation. It's the communication centre for our entire operations in the North-South corridor.
He says the organisation gives people confidence to travel the region and that the race day is an opportunity to celebrate.
To embrace and engage with the community and be part of it is really the goal of this event, because if it works, next year we're 90 and what a way to celebrate.
Amelia Simpson, Southern Cross News.
A Port Lincoln gymnast will become the first person to represent the Lower Eyre Peninsula at the national titles. Cody Mundy was handpicked to fly to Melbourne, where she'll compete against other gymnasts from around the country.
They say try until you succeed. Well, Port Lincoln gymnast Cody Mundy is living proof to never give up on your dreams.
I'm very happy. I've been trying for a number of years now to get into the team, so I'm just really happy.
Cody has been selected for the South Australian team and will compete at nationals against the best in the country. The long days and nights spent in the gym finally paying off.
I was working 38 hours a week and then trying to fit in training, so yeah, my boss gave me a bit of a break so then I could focus more on gym.
Cody has been practicing gymnastics as long as she can remember, but she's had plenty of support from a special coach along the way, her mum.
Yeah, it is great, and great for the country athletes, to see someone succeed, and then that's always a good role model for the other kids in the club.
But the success isn't without a few hiccups.
It's hard sometimes, but we get through it. We get along really well.
There's some very quiet rides home in the car sometimes.
Cody has aspirations of coaching one day and hopes her success can pave the way for generations to come.
I love it here. I hope I inspire the other girls to train harder so they know they can do it as well.
Jason Kemp, Southern Cross News.
Footy continues across the region this weekend. Here's our tipsters with a preview of what we can expect.
Hello and welcome to another round of SGL football. This round starts with South and Solly set the clash at Port Augusta's Central Oval on Saturday. Solly's have had a good start with 3 wins and will be keen to test themselves against the reigning premiers. South have had a slow start to the season with just the 1 win coming in round 2 over bottom place Central. I'm tipping Solly's. The Saturday match in Pirrie sees the Lions take on Central at Port Oval. Both sides are yet to register a win this season and they'll both be keen to get one this weekend. I'm tipping the Lions. On Sunday in Pirrie, it's Port up against West. Port had a good win last week over South and will start this game full of confidence. West are yet to lose a game this season and are the highest scoring team in the league, having kicked 50 goals already in the first 3 rounds. I'm tipping West.
Welcome to round 4 of Whyalla football. Waroona Bay are playing West Whyalla at Bennett Oval on Saturday. Bays could easily be 3 wins and no losses. They've had a couple of losses by less than a goal, but they are taking on the top team who are yet to lose. They were very good last week and West should win. Saturday's other game at Memorial Oval, Rapina versus South Whyalla. South a little bit disappointing last week. They've got injury to a couple of key players. Roos have got some great young players and I think this could be a good chance to Roos to get another win on Saturday. And finally on Sunday at Bennett Oval, it's North Whyalla versus Central Whyalla, clearly the match of the round. Centrals are going on nicely. North, of course, have played in a lot of grand finals. Very hard to see which one this will go, but I think we'll stick with the Roosters to have a narrow win on Sunday.
Welcome to Port Lincoln Footy Tips. With the bye to the regular season, this week, Port Lincoln supporters get the opportunity to see the best junior players take on each other. We have an under-15s and under-17s Lincoln City versus Lincoln District games. The first game kicks off at 10 a.m. with under-15s Lincoln District versus Lincoln City. Lincoln City look to have too many good players across their team, and I'm going to tip them in a close one, beating Lincoln District by just a few goals. In the next game, we see the under-17s play against each other. This would be great, high-quality football with many players already playing A grade. My tip this week will have to go to Lincoln District though. They've got a couple of players coming back from the Norwood squad, and I think that's going to be the difference. I'm tipping them by 3 goals.
Round 7 of Broken Hill football this week sees South take on Central. South, after their loss last week to North, will be looking to redeem things. Central, on the other hand, they'll be up and about. They're certainly looking for more wins to put more points on the table, but I think it'll be the Southerners. Second game sees the Robins taking on the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs, after winning last week against South, will be up and about. West are still looking for a win for the year and certainly be up and about as well, but I think it'll be the Northies easy in that game.
And of course we'll have the results on Monday. We'll stay with us, the local weather coming up next. Welcome back to the weather now, and first tonight's weather photo thanks to Daniel Baybridge for tonight's weather photo of clouds rolling in towards Whyalla. If you have a weather photo to share, you can email it into us. A wet end to the week this Friday with 21 the top in Port Augusta and 24 Whyalla and Port Lincoln. Port Pirie on 19, the same over in Broken Hill. On the national satellite image, as that cloud cover continues to move easterly, so too will the showers and the rain. On the waters, the winds to 15 knots to the north tomorrow, the seas to a metre in southerly, sunrise at 7 minutes past 7. So tomorrow most parts should get some respite from the showers, 21 and fine in Port Pirie, Port Augusta and in Whyalla as well. Port Lincoln also 21, but still with some showers, and a fine 20 for Broken Hill. Port Lincoln and sunny into Sunday and 23 before showers next week. Cleve with a windy end to the weekend and also on 23. And a sunny 25 in Woodner. A sunny 23 to wrap up the weekend in both Whyalla and Port Augusta as well, much the same into next week. A sunny 22 for Kadina. Port Pirie looking at 23 as well for Sunday, and then 20 degrees expected in Clare to wrap up the weekend. Broken Hill also sunny 21 on Sunday. then 22 for Monday. And that is the local news for this evening and for the week as well. Don't forget, as always, you can stay up to date with us on Facebook and on Twitter, and we'll see you back here on Monday night from 6:30. I'm Tim Hatfield from the team. Have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. Good night.